Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and it's a big day. I'm surrounded by some beautiful shoes. Last week you saw me put the ALPHAFLY, the Nike Zoom X ALPHAFLY through their paces. An interesting shoe, and of course, if you've been following this channel for a while, you've seen me do some absurd things with the Nike VAPORFLY. So you must be wondering, all right, which shoe's better for me? Well, today in this video, we are going to compare the two side by side in 5 different spec categories and also in terms of overall design and performance. And I'll tell you which shoe you should or shouldn't consider getting. If you want a pair of ALPHAFLYs, they're really hard to find, but my company, Run Gum, and I have partnered together to give away our new flavor, wintergreen, and a free pair of ALPHAFLYs, brand new in a size of your choice. If you want to enter for a chance to win that giveaway, I have linked that down in the description below. All right, now before we talk about performance, I think we got to talk about specs. These are highly engineered shoes, and we are going to compare them side by side in 5 different categories: soles, uppers, laces, weight, and price. When I'm looking for a shoe, those are the 5 things I'm specifically looking at. First, let's talk about the thing that everyone's mentioning, the bottoms of these shoes. That's where the controversy comes in. They both come in at a 40mm stack height. How big is that sole? Look at the size of that thing, and believe it or not, they do both come in at 40mm of stack height. Next, they both have a carbon fiber plate. Now, you can't see it in the VAPORFLY, but of course, I did cut one of these open. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it right here. I cut it open and found that carbon fiber plate. I actually like it that in the ALPHAFLY, you can see that carbon fiber plate right here. I can tap it just like that. 1 carbon fiber plate per shoe. This is where the ALPHAFLY really diverges from the VAPORFLY. I'm talking about the Air Puck. I think they're called Air Zoom Pods. I like to call them Air Pucks. And there's 2 in the ALPHAFLY. And I did a video on my Instagram the other day, jumping up and down on those Air Pods, and you can really see just how much it compresses. As far as the bottoms go, you've got good grip on both. I would say on the VAPORFLY, think more like a tire, like a high performance tire. And on the ALPHAFLY, they have this horrible gecko texture. It reminds me of the thumb or the fingerprints of a gecko. That's the bottoms. Take it for what it's worth. We'll talk a ton more about the soles of these shoes when we get into design and performance, but right now, I want to talk about the uppers. On the VAPORFLY, you're gonna have something called Flyknit, and it feels almost plasticky. It's like a really strong, durable fabric. I like it. It's not super breathable, but it does feel like it really hugs your foot well. On the other side, on the ALPHAFLY, you have something new called the Atom Knit, and it looks like, almost like a fishing net. I'm obsessed with fishing, so that's how I'm gonna describe it. It looks like a net, and it breathes really well, but I didn't find that it hugged my foot as well. Now, speaking of hugging the foot, I have to mention this unique little heel piece that they put in each of the shoes. It's like kind of an afterthought, I would describe it as. It's just a tiny piece of foam that when you look at it, you think is probably stupid, but does a really good job of holding your ankle in. So shout out to Nike for that. It's easier to put the VAPORFLY on because you actually have this full unlaced tongue and upper. I can open it wide open, get my big foot in there, whereas the Atom Knit upper is actually made to feel kind of more like a sock, and it is so tight and constricting that it's actually hard to get your foot in there. Now, talking about uppers, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about laces. Why does laces get their own category? Well, if you're a shoe geek like me, you obsess over laces. They're such an overlooked part of technology, and they are integral to a well-performing shoe. What I look for in laces is it stretchy, and are they smooth or are they coarse, for lack of a better word? I don't like smooth laces. I don't trust smooth laces. Smooth laces tend to come untied. I absolutely love the laces that they use on the ALPHAFLY. If you look closely, they're coarse, they almost look braided. There is no chance of this lace coming untied. I trust this lace, I don't trust that lace. That's where the ALPHAFLY gets the nod. Now, where the ALPHAFLY definitely loses to the VAPORFLY is in weight. These are roughly 200 grams, these are roughly 230 grams. That is an entire ounce that the ALPHAFLY weighs more than the VAPORFLY. An ounce is an insane amount of weight in a shoe. And just picking them up side by side, I don't like how heavy the shoe is. I don't know if the weight's coming from the sole, the AirPods, the upper, but it is a considerably heavier shoe. Also a considerably more expensive shoe. And if you can find a pair of ALPHAFLYs on the internet right now, it's not easy to do. They are running anywhere from $500 to $1,000 online right now. I believe MSRP for the ALPHAFLY is actually $275, which is more than the MSRP of the VAPORFLY, which is $250. So if you're cost conscious, you know, you're saving money by going with the VAPORFLY. Okay, but this video isn't all about price. I really believe that if the shoe is gonna help you run faster and stay healthier, then price shouldn't be that big of an issue. However, performance is the ultimate issue. And we're gonna grade these shoes in 5 categories, and I'll tell you which one I think wins and which one I think is the loser. Those categories are jogging, lifting, casual wear, tempo running, and who's got the marathon world record. From the top, let's start with jogging. Now, these shoes aren't exactly made to be your everyday trainers, your joggers. These shoes are designed for performance. I think of them like almost like a Lamborghini. My Lamborghini, I don't own a Lamborghini, but if I did, it's not my everyday driver. It is a performance vehicle. These are Lamborghinis, and I don't know that they're meant to be running every day. If you were to jog in them, you have to consider comfort, and in my opinion, the VAPORFLYs are just a little more comfortable. They feel more stable, they feel less top heavy. If I was to jog, say an easy 10-miler, I would reach for the VAPORFLY. I think they're more comfortable, I think they're more stable. Getting into stability, we're talking about lifting. I will preface this with a caution. Do not lift in these shoes, either one of them. They're too tall, they're too squishy, they're not meant for lifting. And when I actually took the ALPHAFLY into the gym, I really struggled to find a way to stand on the shoe. I was constantly falling forward, falling backwards. It was a workout in and of itself just to stay stationary on this giant platform. I said this in last week's video, I don't think you can make a worse lifting shoe than the ALPHAFLY. Of course, that's not what they're made for, but I did get to test them. If I had to lift in one of these shoes, I would choose the VAPORFLY, as again, they do feel a little bit more stable, but I would not want to lift in them. Standing around just casually wearing one of these shoes, hey, if you're gonna buy a $200 and some pair of shoes, maybe you wanna wear them out, maybe you wanna show them off. Which one is a better office shoe? Which one is a better going out shoe? I did wear the ALPHAFLY around the office. I went out to dinner with my wife in them, and I can say these do start a great conversation, but they're just not comfortable to wear around. If I had to pick one or the other, I would probably go with the ALPHAFLY just because you get a lot of great looks and it starts a great conversation. Neither one is particularly comfortable for walking around in, so for that purpose, I'm probably choosing a different shoe, but if I had to pick, I'll pick the ALPHAFLY. Now let's start talking about what these shoes are really designed to do. I'm talking about tempo runs, I'm talking about racing, especially on the roads. Man, this is tough because I have done some incredible things in the VAPORFLY. I ran that sub 4-minute mile downhill in them. I trust the shoe, I believe in this shoe. It's fast, it's light. I almost can't think of a better road racer than the VAPORFLY. But you look at the ALPHAFLY, and when I really got up and on my toes, moving fast down a road, I could see the economy in this shoe. I could feel those Zoom AirPods and the carbon fiber and the Zoom X foam all giving back so much energy. It's hard to argue against that. But if it's me, if I'm lacing up for a marathon that I've spent 6 months of my life training for, and I need to really trust my shoe, here's what I'm doing. I'm taking the laces out of the ALPHAFLY, I'm putting those laces in the VAPORFLY, and I'm racing in a VAPORFLY with ALPHAFLY laces. Last but not least, we've got to talk about street cred. And it's really hard to argue against the ALPHAFLY. Now, Eliud Kipchoge, he helped design both of these shoes, but when it came time to break the 2-hour barrier, to become the first human to ever run a sub 2-hour marathon, he was wearing a prototype of the ALPHAFLY. So you have to give it to the ALPHAFLY. In terms of street cred, that's a pretty hard one to beat. All right, that's a lot of shoe talk, both the performance side, the spec side. If it's me and I'm putting my hard-earned dollars to one of these shoes, I'm probably going with the VAPORFLY. I just trust it more, it's more comfortable in my opinion. I'll say this though, I might be slightly biased. I've done more with the VAPORFLY. I've cut it open, I've sent the damn things to space. I'm more familiar with this shoe. Maybe I need to become more familiar with the ALPHAFLY. The only thing that I haven't really done yet to this shoe is cut it in half and see what's inside. I kind of can't bring myself to do it. If you guys get this video to 10,000 likes, I promise the people will have spoken and I will saw this damn shoe in half and we will together find out what's inside. See you next week.